I'm Dibear, and today we're going to talk about preparing for the Witch Queen. This video is mostly for folks who are getting ready for the day one raid. There will be some things that are useful for newer players, but I'm also going to teach you what you need to do to prepare for getting ready for that endgame content. And honestly, that stuff is useful for casual players too, because it's going to help you get through your season pass like super fast. I will be level 100 on my season pass by the end of week 1 of Witch Queen, and I'll share how to do that. Let's talk about power leveling and upgrading your armor, and this is where your people who are getting ready for day one raid tend to go a little hog wild, and I guess some of what we do may be slightly unnecessary, but honestly, when you really don't have much else to do in the game, it's kind of fun to do this prep. And if you're a newer player, you'll appreciate, especially if you don't have a lot of time to level up your character throughout the season, this will help you level up next season's pass super fast. And you have a few weeks to prep for it. So let's start with our inventory. We already talked about saving umbral engrams to our inventory. These are the dark purple ones. Like I said, when you're done with getting all the guns that you want from all the seasonal content, try to save up 10 of these on each character. So that's a total of 30 umbral engrams. And the reason why is because you can invest all of these into next season's content to get next season's weapons. It just puts you ahead in that grind of trying to get your god rolls. Normally you come over to Rahul to turn in your prime engrams, and if you have prime engrams in your inventory currently, turn them in. But one thing you want to do is if you see a prime engram out in the wild, don't pick it up. Instead, let it go to your postmaster. And I can show you this on another character. I don't have it on Katie here. But I have a couple of prime engrams on my Titan hanging out in here. It'll let you get stuff from the loot pool for next season. The other thing you want to do is collect mats. Now, anything that's in this inventory is shared among all 3 characters, and you can max out 10 Ascendant shards. And unfortunately, you can't reset your rank with Shax or Zavala or Drifter if you have Ascendant shards here, unless they're giving you an engram. Then you can do it. But if you're at the point where your final rank up package is a shard, you have to have at least 1 spot open here to collect it. Now, if your rank ups don't include shards anymore, then go ahead and just max out your shards right here. Get 10 and get 50 here. And then get as many enhancement cores as possible. And we'll go over that a little bit later. And then what we do after we've maxed them out on our inventory is we do GM Nightfalls, or you can also do the Legendaries of Eternity now to get some Enhancement Prisms, some rank up materials. I can't remember if we got shards or not from there. But that's also a fun activity to collect mats from. You can collect and hold up to 50 Enhancement Prisms on Katie for each character. So that means you can have a total of 200 Enhancement Prisms on your account ready for next season. And then you can do the same thing with Ascendant shards, except, again, remember, we have a max of 10 shards in our stack, but you could also save 10 shards for each character on Katie for a total of 40 enhancement shards. And if you do get some armor or like a brand new exotic that hasn't come out yet next season, you're going to want to take advantage of those Ascendant shards for maxing those things out and masterworking them. And masterworking armor is totally worth it if it's going to get your stat points up into the right area. And I do have other videos on that, so we're not going to go into it. Now, some people may be asking, Dibear, why the hell do you have so many ships in your vault, and why are they all the same? Like, isn't that unnecessary? The answer is no. I am saving ships in my vault because these are basically Glimmer. And let me show you what happens. So there are specific ships and sparrows that if you save on your account, they will reward you with the maximum Glimmer and the maximum legendary shards that you can get from ships and sparrows. And then there's also a ghost that you could get from Trials of the 9 back in the day that I never played, so I don't have the ghost. I just keep random ghosts on here just because. If I ever need Glimmer, I can just delete one. It's pretty simple. But for me, I have the other side from, I think, Season 2, Season 3, and then I also save Universal Wave Function from, I think, Season 3. And watch what happens. Let's delete it. Oh, I'm maxed out on Glimmer. Oh no, such a bad example. Okay, so If you don't get glimmer from things in the game, that means you're maxed out. You have 250,000 glimmer. See, look right there. Make it a habit when you stop getting glimmer and you know you're maxed out. Make it a habit to go into your equipment, find the best ship that you have access to, and buy it. That way you can continue earning glimmer. See, now we have space. We have room for about 7,500 more glimmer. And you want to make vault space to put ships and sparrows in here. So you want to fill up all your ship and sparrow slots on each character, and then you want to throw whatever you can into your vault. And the reason why is because when you're doing bounties to try to rank up your season pass, remember, bounties, there's two ways of leveling up in this game. You level up gear, and that's by doing activities. So you want to start with powerfuls first, and then you do your pinnacle activities. The other way of ranking up in the game is your season pass. So you're ranking up two totally separate things. They're different. This ranks up your season pass, which in turn ranks up your artifact level. And you're going to want to do that to get access to season mods. The sooner the better, especially if you want to get like end game content stuff done earlier. Which is, again, why a lot of us do bounty prep, because we want to be ready for day one raid a couple weeks later. So let's say I'm buying bounties, and bounties are expensive. They are. They cost a lot of glimmer. Once I run out of glimmer, and I will, I can just start breaking down ships. Okay, now that we have room, let's do it. See, I got 5,000 glimmer from this ship in 2 legendary shards. So you're basically investing glimmer into the bank. Of course, you're paying them interest because you do ultimately lose glimmer in the end. Like, you have a net negative, but, I mean, you're either going to invest it and have it as something that you can liquidate into glimmer later, or you just stop earning glimmer because you're maxed out. My suggestion is invest it so you can liquidate it later into glimmer. So let me get that ship back. I feel kind of weird. Oh wait, I can't do it because no, my thing isn't full. Okay, let's do it. Oh no, not enough space. Right. All right, so let me put a ship back in the vault, and I'll basically replace that stuff later. So boom, put it in the vault, just save stuff in there. And going into the next season, make sure all your vault spaces are filled up with something you can liquidate into glimmer later on. The final thing you want to save in maybe your vault, preferably on your person. And we should talk about this in just a moment too, because you really want to maximize your space and what you're carrying over later on. If it's in my vault, I can't put a ship in its place, and I'd rather have this in my inventory. So I have Dusklight Shards, Barium Boughs, Helium Filaments, and Spin Metal Leaves, and Glacial Starwort. These are all the planetary mats that are being carried forward. The one that is being sunset is the Etheric Spirals, the orange stuff from the Tangled Shore. Spend those on Glimmer with Spider. Invest them into ships. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them and use them to keep buying bounties right now while you're trying to get things done in preparation for next season to try to get things that are being sunset. If you're new to this, I recommend saving 2,000 to start with, and once you get 2,000, go for a full stack of 10,000. So you can see it caps out at 9,999. And if you're really bored and you have nothing better to do with your life like me, save 2 stacks. I actually have 2 stacks of Dusklight. And then I have another stack on my inventory right now for me to actively use for like purchasing different things from Banshee. So I want to go into the season with 20,000 of each. That's my personal goal. For you, shoot for at least 2,000. And then try to go to 10,000 thereafter. Now, where do you get these things? Honestly, the easiest way, just go to Spider, buy the mats for legendary shards. And if you don't have legendary shards and you're a new player, you'll be absolutely fine with 2,000. It'll give you some flexibility to do what you need to do next season. This is the Etheric Spiral that you want to get rid of. Now, to make room for things in your inventory, you can see that we have decrypted data, and you can discard it by holding down F. I'm not going to do that because I need it. The very last day that we have access to the game, and mind you, Bungie will probably have downtime. They're probably going to take the game offline the night of February 21st, and then they'll bring it online on February 22nd with the drop of Witch Queen. They did that with Beyond Light so that everyone could download the game prior to trying to log on, instead of having everyone download the game at the same time at noon on the 22nd on release date. So I recommend, except for Etheric Spirals, if you still have some of these and you can't invest them just yet, hold on to them because you're probably going to be able to spend them with Rahul. So don't delete them. but try to spend as many as possible right now. For other things that are going away, get rid of all of your currency, the seasonal currency that we went through earlier, so you can make room for things that you're actually going to need. Now, with strange coins, some people may be suggesting that you save these. Honestly, this is an active currency that you're just going to convert into keys, into treasure keys. I would recommend saving as many treasure keys as possible. Don't worry about getting several stacks of 30 strange coins. Just go convert them into keys immediately, or go buy the bounties that you need. These are pretty easy to get from just playing the game. I've gotten them from grinding different seasonal activities. Do not, like with Glimmer, do not let strange coins max out, because once they're maxed, you don't get any more. Like you'll get 30 here, and you'll get 30 in your postmaster. But once it hits that, you're not getting any more, and then you're just wasting your time by not getting more strange coins. And if you're trying to max out everything in the Dares of Eternity, just convert it to treasure keys. It's no big deal if these aren't maxed out. It really isn't. It's a currency that doesn't even really need to exist. Surprise, surprise. That's the story of Destiny. Make sure you spend, or make sure you insert all of your synth cord into the thing over by Ada at the other end of the tower. So again, you can put stuff here that matters. Memory fragments typically disappear every season, but they didn't mention these. I might save this just to see what happens. This is something that doesn't belong here. Like, oh, they're letting you discard it now. Oh my gosh. When that first came out, you couldn't get rid of it. So make sure you get rid of that thing too. When it comes to charges of light, get rid of the tier 1 charges of light. They're useless. You want tier 3s and unstables. Like, stack up your tier 3s and unstables. I think you can have a max of 5. You can have a max of 5 tinctures. I recommend having those too, because of course you're going to play on the Dreaming City. Let's go. And now for the controversial part of the video that people have mixed feelings about. It's the bounty prep. And honestly, bounty prep is kind of fun. Now, let's talk about ranking up Shax and Drifter. So if we go on the map level and hover over them, you see that you get powerful gear for doing 8 bounties. And honestly, I don't know how many levels we're going up just yet, but let's say we're only going up 10 levels. If you're already 1330 on all your characters, this isn't going to affect you one bit. For those of us who are just going for pinnacle gear. Now, if they have us go up more than 10 levels, powerful gear is going to matter for all of us. And what I was told is that if you collect 7 bounties from the previous season and then do a new bounty and collect that as your 8th bounty, you will actually get a powerful gear drop. So just be mindful of that. I typically don't save bounties for any of these folks because I don't want to lose out on my powerful gear. And honestly, there's so many bounties in the game. You don't need them. You don't need to do Shax or Saint 14 or Drifter. So rule of thumb, if you're playing against other players, just don't save bounties. And I'm going to go a step further and say just don't do any bounties from the tower and carry them over. So I would say just don't even do any bounties from the tower. Now you could say, well, yeah, but you can get your powerful gear way faster. Okay, well, sure. But don't forget, you still have to do like 3 strikes to get your pinnacles and 3, win 7 rounds for both Shax and Saint 14 in comp and trials, and then like do 8 bounties for Shax for regular Crucible and for Zavala and for Drifter. You can easily get those done in the 3 activities that you do to get your pinnacles. Daily bounties are worth 6,000 XP. Additional bounties that award Bright Dust or any additional bounties are worth only 3,000 XP. And that's across the board with everyone. The only one whose bounties aren't really worth anything that's worth saving is Petra. It's really not worth it saving her bounties. You're not going to get any XP off of her. The one person whose bounties you should absolutely be collecting for next season is Soraya Hawthorne, the clan lady. Get yourself into a clan if you're not already in one. If you don't have a clan, then just make a clan. Well, you want at least one other person in the clan with you. Make sure you get all of your rank up packages from her before we go into next season. You can get some cool stuff. But as you can see, there are a bunch of bounties here. And they're not always the same each week. So I've been collecting these for 2 weeks, and as you can see, there was one I could pick up on this character. These are each worth 12,000 XP. So keep coming back every week. Keep doing your clan bounties. You're going to need a friend to complete like all of them. And you need to do a raid with at least 1 or 2 other people. And if you look here, I've got 1, 2. We've got that third one I'm going to work on. 4, 5. Just save them. So when you do bounty prep, you do your bounties and you don't collect them. You can see I've got Cosmodrome bounties, Europa. There's 4 Europa bounties that you can collect that are weeklies. Iron Banner bounties, I 100% recommend saving if you complete them. I'm personally not enjoying Iron Banner at all, and I haven't completed it the last couple times it was out. I don't think these are getting done. Obviously, 1 day left. I don't think these are getting done. I just don't enjoy them. So get these done and just save them. Do not click on them. Do not collect them. Clicking is collecting. Don't do it. Complete these before the end of the season so you can fill up these slots with other bounties. Complete your essences and collect those weapons so you can fill up spots over here. So down here in the lower corner, you can see it says I have 46 out of 63. You can hold a maximum of 63 things, period. That includes quests over here in the quest bucket and bounties over here in the bounty bucket. So the very last day, I'm going to personally delete my Hammer of Proving to free up a spot and go do another bounty. And I recommend starting bounty prep now so you can get all of your weekly bounties done first and then collect your dailies. Now, Banshee is interesting. He also does the powerful drop of doing 8 bounties, but I chose to do his bounties and save them because they're going to give me an enhancement core for each one. What I might do with Banshee is collect 7 of his bounties and then go do a new bounty on him and use that to get my powerful rank up package from him. So really be mindful about collecting your bounties, but for the purposes of this video, we just want to collect bounties. Spider bounties, his weekly bounties, everything from Spider is being sunset, so we're going to actually complete this and then collect it and be done with it forever. This is a quest. It doesn't say it has an expiration date. I'm going to keep this and just keep working on it. Sidearms and Crucible, I tell you. It's all Crucible stuff that I'm sitting on. Use up your lure charges. Delete this on the last day. Get all of your Europa quests done so you can put bounties in their place. And earn any quests from this season. If you click on... See, this is all your quests. If you click on Beyond Light, this will give you all of your quests from the campaign that you can finish up and be done with. This is all of your current seasonal stuff. As you can see, my quests are done for the season. And then we've got... this is all stuff from the past that you can get done. Get rid of these. Complete anything else that's here that's in the past. You want your past to be free and clear that last day before reset. I can't stress it enough. This bottom right here, the bottom one here in the past, get rid of it all. Complete as much as possible. Like, I'm going to use up all of my key codes the last day. I'm going to use up all of my lure charges to farm the last day. I'm going to use up all of my hammer charges, unless I get my god rolls. Like, if I got all my god rolls tomorrow, I would just delete these and be done and go play Ark for like 3 weeks. But get rid of them all so you can actually get some bounties with XP. So, I just told you guys a lot. I told you a little with a lot of words, let's be real. But I'm going to give you a tool that's really helpful. It's called destinyrecipes.com. And when you go to the main page, you can click on something called the Preseason Checklist right here. And make sure you sign in. And this shows you what you have in your inventory. You can click on this little doohickey to update it so it's current. So this is really cool. What it's doing here is showing that I have a season pass boost of 20%. Now, what does this mean? This means that when I start next season, I'm going to go through and do the opening mission by myself because I want to experience by myself. If you want to do it with your friends, do it with your friends. You want to get your new artifact for the season. Once you get your artifact, then you're going to get into a 3-stack, and y'all are going to unlock you're going to collect your bounties and get that XP. Yep. No matter how mindful or not so mindful you want to be. Just collect them all if you want to just get the XP. If you want to get those powerfuls, make sure you get some new bounties done first. So the bright yellow bars, that's all of my completed bounties. Right now, if I were to collect all of the weekly bounties that I have in some of my dailies that I have on all 3 characters, it would take me through level 14 and I would start working on level 15. That's where my XP would be. Guys, I'm not anywhere near done with bounty collecting because I've been just doing weeklies. I still have all my dailies to do. It's pretty cool. It tells you how much XP you have stored and how much XP you would have if you finished all the bounties you currently have on your person. And the grayed out yellow bar, currently what I have on my person would take me to level 18. Like, just by doing weekly bounties, I'm in a really good spot. If you click on the show bounties button, this shows you all the bounties that are available in the game. Oh, get your threader bounties done too. Like, get all your ornaments done through Ada. There are easy ways to do that. It puts all the weeklies up at the top. So you can see that the weekly bounties are all 12,000 XP apiece. That's why I'm focusing on XP bounties right now, or why I'm focusing on weekly bounties on each character right now. For Europa, you can get a total of 4 weekly bounties. There is 1 weekly bounty for each hunt. And then there's 1 weekly bounty for just doing like Lost Sector stuff. That one never changes, so you can only pick it up once. So you have a total of 4. You can get the Nightmare bounties from the moon next to Eris at that table. And there are 2 of those. They never change. It's just 2. Grab them. We have 2 Cosmodrome bounties. We used to have a weekly bounty on the Cosmodrome that would change. Like, you could save multiple bounties. But what I've been seeing is that these haven't been changing, so I can only save 2. I'll keep checking in, though, just to see if it does change and I can pick up another one. And then I have all the clan bounties, and you can see, you can save a lot of them. Like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 clan bounties done on my Titan, with 2 more to do. I have 4 to do on my Hunter, but 2 are completed, so that's a total of 6. 1, 2, 3 completed on my Warlock. So far I have 6, and I'm going to check in again tomorrow after reset to see if there's another one I can pick up. Just keep going to the clan lady until you can't buy bounties anymore and keep doing them. If you have filled out all your bounty spots and there's a weekly that you can pick up, just turn in one of your dailies and pick up the weekly. I mean, dailies are so easy to do. If you don't complete your Iron Banner bounties, these will delete after a week. I might just delete them myself just to get them out of my mind. If you're almost done with one, complete it. Like, I completed 1 Iron Banner bounty on my Titan. Zones captured is the easiest. Like, at least get that one done. But it tells you which ones are 12,000. Focus on those. You can hold 1 Star Horse bounty per week. I actually turned one in the other day for keys. I would say the last week, go ahead and grab a Star Horse bounty and just hold on to it. These are worth 12,000 apiece. These do carry over. They're not being sunset. So save 1 Star Horse bounty on each character. That's a total of 36,000 XP right there. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the zeros are the ones that are going away. You don't want any 0-point bounties. Now, the cool thing is any bounty that could have a negative impact on your gear or leveling up or something is going to be sunset. This checklist will actually highlight the bounty in red, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you why it's going away. So it'll alert you that you need to get rid of it. So this is a really useful tool, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with doing this and you're not quite sure what to do. Over on the left side, they have a fun little point system. You don't really have to do this. My resources are currently low. We're going to go over that in a minute, and I may not max that out. This has your stored XP. It just gives you points for what you could do. If you scroll down to the bottom, they have your Glimmer Finder here, and they tell you which ships you can get and what they're worth when you buy them. See, I have Other Side and Universal Wave Function. These are 2 of the best. The Knight's Peace Shell is the ghost shell that people save. But if you don't know what to get and you have some of these, this will tell you which ships and sparrows are the best to invest in. Guys, if you don't have any of these, that's fine. Especially if you're a newer player, just buy ships and sparrows. Just make sure you're investing Glimmer without letting it max out in your inventory. Just invest so you can tap into this later when you need Glimmer. Fill up your vault with ships and sparrows. So to the resources section here, and if we go back up here, you'll see materials here. And then we have resources down here. Gold here means that you have over twice as many as they recommend. This is all of the resources that you want to carry over to next season. There's 6 of them. They're recommending 2,000 minimum. I would go for at least 10,000. Like my data lattice, I need to purchase hardcore. And then I'm now, since I have so many, I'm now trying to get 20,000 of each. That's just for me. It's just a personal goal, just to have fun. I know it's a weird way to have fun, but I am a Destiny player. Resources, you want to have at least 3,000 legendary shards. You will get a gold bar at 6,000. I typically carry 10,000, but I bought a ton of resources. With all the grinding I'm doing, I may be at 10,000 pretty soon. Upgrade modules I'll buy from Banshee at the end if I'm not already maxed out. I burn through upgrade modules. Ascendant shards, you'll have all the shards that you need. They recommend at least 10. But if you do the farming the way I talked about earlier, you'll have 40. You'll be more than good to go. They recommend at least 2,000 gunsmith materials. I'm not sure why. I usually turn in all my gunsmith materials because I'm farming world drops. And if I didn't farm world drops, I wouldn't be able to put out videos like the 15 best guns for beginners who want to get into raiding and nightfalls. Link in the description below if you're interested. Enhancement cores, I used to have 2,000 of these, and I might start grinding. Actually, what I should do is turn in all of my Banshee bounties and start grinding all the weekly bounties from Spider to get my enhancement cores back up to 2,000. I'd like to have 10,000, but again, I burn through these like crazy. But that's just another reason to save them. The enhancement prisms, these drop very easily from nightfalls, like if you're doing master nightfalls or GM nightfalls. And they also drop generously from Legendaires of Eternities. Like I said, you can have a max of 200, 50 in your inventory, and then 50 in the Postmaster on each character. Spoils of Conquest, I don't really see a need to save up to the maximum of 240, but go ahead and do it anyway. Just farm spoils and take them into next season with you. Now, okay, I'm going to stop myself right there. What they're doing is saving these for the first raid. Day 1 raid, when you get to the end of the raid, people want to have spoils to buy things. That's what they're doing, is trying to get a god roll off of the first weapon that they can get. If you get 3 weapon drops throughout that raid, that means you're going to have 3 different weapons you can choose from when you get to the end of the raid. So people are anticipating buying weapons upon their first raid completion. And that's probably going to be about 10 days into the season. So I take that advice back. Go ahead and save up 240 if that's what you're shooting for. And that's the end of the preseason checklist. This is a fantastic guide. Just follow this and this will get you right through it. Gunsmith materials are also going away while Banshee system is converted to the same one that we have Shax, Saint 14, and the Drifter on. So make sure you turn in all of these tokens and collect the weapons. Break them down for legendary shards. You should have as many of those as possible. I try to aim for 10,000. And check to see if you have any god rolls on world drops, because a lot of the weapons that Banshee hands out are actually pretty good. Make sure you get all the Charge of Light mods, or all of the mods that you can get. Not all of them are Charge of Light mods. If you have a lot of mod components, go ahead and just buy all the mods. So Ada has mods, as does Banshee, and then go to each of the vendors in the helm, and they also have mods that you can purchase. Check in every week so you can make sure you're getting everything you need. If you are a newer player and you don't have a lot of mod components, I recommend getting Firepower. That's a helmet mod. Elemental Charge is going to be especially useful next season for those of us who are going to move away from orbs a little bit. Heal Thyself is a really great Charge with Light mod. Heavy Handed, another great mod to have. That's on a lot of my builds. Elemental Ordnance and Supercharged or Charged Up. Charged Up is only 2 points. Supercharged is 5. Those are some pretty solid mods to start with. I don't really, you can see I don't use weapon mods on my armor. You don't really need weapon mods if you swap between your weapons equally, and you should get in the habit of doing that. Each weapon has a purpose, and maybe we should do a video about that in the future. And if you're using them appropriately and you know how to get ammo without using an ammo finder, like, oh hey, the game is throwing tons of green ammo at me, let me just fire off my shotgun, and then it'll start giving me purple again. That's the trick. You don't need weapon mods for most PvE content. And I think that's more for gun-based builds, which I don't do. But next season I do plan to start doing more of those. Guys, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And if it's a more in-depth answer, I'll do a 10-minute video on it. And if it's not, then I'll do a short on it. But I'm more than happy to help you guys out. Let me know what you have questions about, and we'll get you ready for next season. If you'd like to support this channel, liking and commenting on the videos tells YouTube to share these videos with others who may find them useful. If you'd like to provide monetary support to help keep this channel up and running, visit my locals and Subscribe Star communities.